Yeah. What is up, people? My name is Stahv, and you're in my living room. Today, I've got a guy who you really don't get to see much of because he's usually behind the camera, like myself. So, we have Zach Lasee, ZL98.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, bro.
Happy to have you, man.
Yeah, bro. Like you said, this is not my. It's not what I'm used to.
We had to do a shot to
Yep.
get him to open up before
And
we
we got-
did. Oh yeah, we have some Modelo's too. Shout out Modelo, sponsor me. That'd be awesome. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
But no, it's I love getting the chance to talk to you because again, like I said before, you are always behind the camera. And for those people who don't know what you do or who you are, give us a little resume or what you do.
Okay. Freelance photographer, videographer, overall creative,
All of the above.
bartender, even.
Bartender.
I do it all, man. But photographer at heart. Yeah.
Photographer at heart. He does some crazy work. I remember I actually have your Zine sitting back on
Oh, hell yeah.
the shelf over there. It's a collection of film photos you
Yep,
did back
yep.
in college, right?
Yep. For my senior capstone project, I just put that together from the last semester. I was there during like the whole pandemic.
Yeah.
I was just shooting like every day.
And it's all film, right?
Yeah, it's all film.
Yeah.
I had nothing else to do, so I was just shooting photos every day, walking around, and that's probably one of the only projects that I've like really enjoyed. Like
Yeah.
the whole process, and
So
then like
passion.
the end result. It was like better than I expected it to turn out.
It's really
Even
cool.
though none of the photos were like super crazy or anything, but it was just like the whole start to finish and like finishing it.
Mm.
It felt good, and people liked it. I sold a lot of them, surprisingly.
Yeah. How many did you go through? I mean, oh gosh, it's been a while since you put that one out. Probably almost 2 years at
Yep,
this point,
yep.
right?
I made 47 of them, and I sold 44. I kept one, gave them to my grandparents, and gave one to my parents.
For your first run, I
Yeah.
mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Those are some pretty huge numbers.
Yeah, it was surprising. It was cool. I would definitely do that again, though. Like the whole photo book thing.
So where did you get your start for photography? I mean, it's always been a passion thing for sure, but I met you back, oh gosh,
When I was whack.
not even. You were coming around the Good Vibes Project every now and again and snapping photos, and you know, I believe you're just starting out at that point, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I started taking photos like this summer after my senior year. It's like when I first got my camera too. But it was just here and there hobby. I liked it, but I wasn't like really taking it serious because I thought I'm going to college. I don't know if I can do this like full time and make money with it, which is so false if anyone ever thinks that. But yeah, after my senior year, started getting into it and just loved it. Fell in love with it right away.
And what were you going for in college? Was it even close to photography? Yeah.
It was kinesiology.
That's crazy. I don't even
Yeah.
know what that is.
It's like the study of human movement.
Okay.
So like a lot of like anatomy stuff. Because the original plan was for me to become a chiropractor.
Wow.
That's what I wanted to do. In another life, I did that. But
Not this one.
Not this one.
Not
So
this
yeah,
one.
I go to Whitewater my freshman year, and then transfer after that year to Eau Claire, and then I do another semester with kinesiology at Eau Claire, and then after my first semester at Eau Claire, I switched it all up, and then I ended up graduating with a degree in digital media from Eau Claire in 2020.
So you did end up in digital media
Yep,
at the end. Wow, that's great. I mean, most people don't make that decision early enough where they can flip flop.
Yeah.
And I mean, to have that under your back is that's huge. A
Yeah.
digital media degree can take you a ton of different
Hell yeah.
places.
And all thanks to this one professor I had. So I go to Eau Claire, and like they make you take like random requirements
Yeah, gen eds.
to
And,
fulfill
yeah.
other random whatever.
Yeah.
So you need like a creative requirement, and one of them was a photography class. I'm like, well, bet. I've already been taking photos for like a few years now. I'm like, wow, that's perfect. And then I was in this class, and the semester came, and my professor like sat me down. I thought I was like in trouble or something. And she was like, hey, I think you should change your whole plan up.
Wow.
And I was like, she's like, I rarely find any students that come in here and like have a passion for it. And she could just see it like throughout the whole semester. I was always in like the digital media lab working. Even if I didn't have class, I was just there like working on my own stuff.
So she saw that
Yes.
you were,
100%.
but even honestly, probably before you did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, most kids are just in there to fulfill like a requirement. But I was in there, I was like, I like to do this.
Cool.
Yeah. I was like, I don't like taking tests. I don't like having to study for like just random stuff. I'm like, I like,
You had the creative side.
yeah. Or, that changed my whole life right there when she said it to me.
And then the rest is history from there.
Pretty much. I told my parents, I was like, hey, I'm switching it up. And they were totally cool with it. They're like, hey, man, we want you to be happy. Do whatever you want to do. And I was like, wow. Okay.
And you did it.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, when I first met you, you were even more soft spoken than you are now. And it's hard for people to kind of to see that side of you. But a cool thing that to push yourself forward, you started bartending, right?
Yep.
To kind of
Yep.
work on your social
Yep,
game
yep,
and
yep.
to kind of push you
Mm-hmm.
in that direction.
Oh, yeah. Introverted at heart.
Yeah. Oh, same
Real
here.
quiet kid.
Same here.
Single or only child vibes.
Okay.
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah. I mean, it's unique for a person to recognize something and then want to change that side of thing.
Yep.
And for you, I've noticed such a huge difference from when I first met you to now. Even just using bartending as
yeah, absolutely.
it's crazy.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, the whole bartending thing, I was kind of pushed to do that.
Yeah.
From the other bartender, Lang. Shout out Lang. He was like, "Oh, dude, just give it a try," because he was also like, "You're a quiet kid. It'll maybe get you out of your box a little bit."
And it did.
Was so way out of my comfort zone. But I'm glad I do that. Yeah, I'm just soft spoken. I don't.
But we
I'm
need
not
we
the
need
loudest
more
dude in the
Zach.
room.
We
Yeah.
we need more Zach,
I
and we
guess
need
so.
you to hop in front of the camera every now and again, because the work you produce is it's incredible. I mean,
Thank you.
your photography is really, it's in a league of its own when it comes to the city of Green Bay. I mean, I cannot think of a better person to go to if I need portraits done for, like, I'm putting out a mixtape or
Yeah.
I'm doing like some professional portraiture
Mhm.
work. Like, I mean, your style and the cleanness and everything, it's par none.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Because your shit is fire too. It always has been.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that, but I mean, at the same time, like, getting to see where you started and where you are now, it's you started out good, and then the stuff you have now, it's next level. I mean, the portraits you did for Mitch, and I
Yeah,
know
those photos go crazy.
they're insane.
Yeah.
They're so clean, and you carry the film look from film
Mm-hmm.
to digital,
Yep.
which is another challenge in its own.
Yeah. Because that project, that zine project, really like made me fall in love with film.
Yeah.
It's just so expensive, bro. Like, and the whole like, it's a lot more time consuming. Like they're not like how in digital you take photos, you go back home, you edit them right away. Where I got to wait. Like, I got to send out my film, wait for it, to get developed and then get it back in the mail.
Scan it.
Yeah, like it just wasn't quick enough for me, and they hurt my pockets too.
Yeah.
It's like this is a lot of money,
Oh, it's an insane amount of money to shoot film.
and it's only getting more expensive,
Oh yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of all the labs, you used to be able to go to like, I don't know. What's the grocery You used to go to Woodman's and be able to get
Oh,
your
really?
film developed. And you used to be able to
That's
go to
funny.
like Walgreens and get
Yep.
developed in Walgreens.
Mhm.
But now everything's like sent out to
Yeah.
labs,
Yep.
wherever located in the US, because it is a very niche thing. And I
It is.
definitely think it's gaining popularity, but
Yep.
definitely not to what it was when
Yeah.
everybody was using
Yeah.
film.
I just love the look of it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So that's like where I try to emulate it in a digital way.
Right?
Um, yeah, shout out Promise filters.
Promise.
Yeah, that never leaves my camera.
So besides photo work, you carry you started with photo, right?
Hmm.
And then you moved into video.
Yep.
And through that, you kind of carried the film look from like a film photo into video with, using the Pro Mist
Yep.
and your coloring
Mhm.
and your editing. And I mean, the few music videos you've done are definitely, most people don't develop a sort of style of their own right away. But
Mhm.
with yours is like instantly recognizable.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I don't know. Video is a whole different beast in itself.
It's hard.
Like it's hard. I'm nowhere. Like I'm not even scratching the surface. But yeah, a few years ago, video was like, getting real like in demand, and I like slowly worked into it. I was doing a few like video jobs in Eau Claire. I worked for a boxing and fitness gym where I was like doing all their social media and creating videos for them. And then I'd say about a year ago, a little over a year ago, that's when I like really dove into it and like started putting out like a good amount of projects like every month. It's a grind though.
It is a grind. When you work with artists, is it, because for me, when I create a music video, it's like I need to hear the track, and I not only need to hear the track, but I also need to love the track.
Yeah,
Is it the same for you?
yeah, pretty much. And anyone I've done work with is like a homie too.
Yeah.
So either that and just like having a creative connection with the person making the music and them like trusting me to like, make something dope for them. But yeah, I'm not a huge music video guy. I do it because it's very in demand.
Fair.
But yeah, I would like to start creating some more, a lot more intense stuff, and just keep elevating that.
But you're definitely leaning more towards the photo. Photo is really
Oh,
where
yeah,
your passion
yeah,
lies.
yeah. If you didn't like, at this point, if you're not a photographer and also like shooting video, I feel like
Yeah.
you're not doing yourself like justice because you can get double the amount of jobs. Like,
No, that's definitely fair. I started out doing video and then
Mhm.
kind of moved my way into
Yep.
photography. So it's kind of the opposite of you. But yeah, if you're a freelancer,
Mhm.
not diving into, I mean, literally any
Yeah.
form of digital media, you're definitely missing out on jobs.
Mhm.
There's no doubt about that.
And people don't really understand like Green Bay has a lot of artists, like musicians and
A
like
ton.
a lot of
ton.
talented people. So music videos are needed by so many people right now all the time.
Right.
But they just take me so long to do.
It's a labor of love.
Mhm.
It is a labor of love. My last project was with YD, and
Fire. It was
thank
so
you.
fun.
The filming process is always the shortest part.
Oh yeah.
Because I sit on my computer for literally hours on end watching the same 2 minutes of footage over and
Yep,
over, trying to
yep,
get exactly
yep.
what I envision in my head,
Mm-hmm.
and it never turns out the way I see it.
Same here.
So it's
And like even just the like when you chop footage, like so you got a bunch of performance scenes and you got like however you want to chop it up. That takes me so long
yeah.
because I'm like, oh, do I want it like this? I'm like, fuck, I don't even like how I shot this, but
So
yeah.
when you put out a project, are you always like, oh, I could have done better here, here, and here,
Oh,
or
100%.
yeah.
Any project I do.
I'm finding a lot
Yeah.
of artists I talk to through the podcast are just around town. I mean, everybody seems to have that same sort of mentality where it's like everybody, I don't know, it's a very artist thing
Yeah, I was gonna
to,
say it's like that's being an
it's
artist.
cliche.
Yeah, because you finish a project and you're like, well, I can still do better, and that's what like keeps us all going.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's what will make us never stop. Just kind of like a drug in itself, but
Always on the pursuit for something
yep,
better.
yep. But when you do make something and you like and you feel it,
I've had a few of those
yeah,
projects.
yeah, a few of them.
Yeah. Those are what you chase. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
those are the ones that really stand out when you look back at them and really show you why you
mm-hmm,
do what you do.
mm-hmm.
Those are far and few in between,
Absolutely,
though.
absolutely.
when it comes to like motivation, I mean, do you find yourself getting in ruts every
Oh
now and
yeah,
again
oh
where you're
yeah.
like,
I just kind of like got out of one. I feel.
really?
Oh yeah, for a while too.
Yeah.
Um,
What's your process going through that? Do you kind of just have to lay low and wait for inspiration to hit again, or
a little bit. I'll keep working throughout. That's obvious, but I don't know. It's like you said, those few and far between. It'll just take one little thing where I'm like, okay, I like this, and then it'll kind of bring me back.
mm-hmm.
Or just you just gotta have a conversation with yourself. Like, okay, well, you're still progressing every day. Like, look at you a few years ago. So that too, but I mean, every artist goes through that, like the
some
ruts,
some do,
and
some don't, some don't. I've met a
I
few
I
that
admire the people that don't.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy. I definitely don't work like that, and when I see somebody that does, I get so jealous, man.
right, right. Yeah,
I
because
get
we like if you put out a few projects that you don't really fully love, then it's like defeating in a way.
right.
But then eventually there's something that you may not love, but you're like, okay, well this is still decent.
This is
Like
good
this
enough.
is good enough. This will pull me out a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, it just goes in waves for me.
yeah.
It'll go in waves because I still do the same amount of work because I do get hit up quite a bit.
Mm.
And I appreciate everyone that asked me to do work for them. So that like I don't ever have like a drought where I'm not like I have something to work on 24/7, 7 days a week.
Nice. Yeah.
So I really appreciate all the people that do hit me up for this, like even a small town in Green Bay.
Do you have? I find myself having a hard time saying no a lot of times because
Yeah.
I mean I work a full-time job and I do a lot of freelance work on the side and I do get hit up enough where it's like, man, I appreciate people reaching out and I definitely encourage people to reach out,
Yep.
but at the same time it's like there are certain times where you have to say no for your sanity
Yeah.
because there are only so many hours in a day.
Yeah. You're only one person. Like we're not working in teams. Like it's only me.
Right.
Like
Right. Do you have problems saying no?
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Just because I like doing it and I like money. But sometimes I'll be backed up like 4 or 5 projects at a time. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm busy and I'm like still shooting almost every day. I'm like, I'll get it to you. It just might take me a little bit longer because I'm one guy. I
Right.
can only, crank out so much in like the 24 hours that we got.
Right. And if it's all creative work too, that's draining in
Mhm.
itself.
Oh, absolutely.
But starting out, I always had the worst time saying no to people. Like
Mhm.
even if it was something like I knew I shouldn't take, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it." And then we'd film and then it'd sit in my queue for like
Yeah.
the next 4 weeks and it'd take me forever and I did that so much in my past, and I've finally got to a point, pretty much like this last year, when I've
Mm.
been able to say, no,
Yep.
like let's wait,
Mhm.
or at least thanks for considering.
Yeah.
But it took me so long to get there.
Fair. That's very fair.
It's a hard thing as a freelancer to say no to a job.
Oh yeah. I mean, like if I had an editor,
Right.
sure.
Right.
or if I had,
A full team backing
or
you
if
up.
someone else was shooting it and they're like, "Hey, edit it."
Really?
Okay.
You'd be down for that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I find myself like I despise editing. I don't know what it is. My favorite part is filming, being on set, filming, making sure everything looks good and sounds great. And when it comes to editing and once I get everything back, I'm like, oh, this sucks. Now I got to
Yep.
rewatch everything I
Yeah,
just
'cause
did
that's
and
75% of the project right there.
right, right. Are you the same way or are you like, no, I actually
Um,
enjoy editing more?
um, Not more, but I do love the editing part, even though I might just sit behind a computer for like 10 hours on this one day or 40 hours on one project, where that kind of gets draining. Um, but no, I don't know. Because sometimes the editing, I'm like, I don't know everything about this. Like,
Right, it's a lot
like,
of learning on the
yeah,
spot. Yeah.
for sure. Like, I use Premiere, and anyone that knows it, that stuff is so deep.
Oh my
Like you could, like
god.
it's never ending. The
Right.
stuff you can do on there. So it's like I don't know even a quarter of any of this stuff, but I know enough to like do what I want to do now.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I will always love the shooting part too.
So it
Uh,
seems kind of equal then. It
Kind of, yeah,
seems okay.
yeah. I
I
feel like
was
there's almost a level of stress like shooting it for me because I'm
really
like I don't know if I'll capture this the way I want to right now, but that's kind of in any project.
right.
I'll
Okay.
I'll shoot and edit photos all day long though, and I love that both parts of that.
But videos where you
Yeah.
are lacking a bit of confidence.
Hmm.
Yeah. No, I can definitely relate in the opposite sense where it's like
Okay.
my photo game isn't as strong as what my video game is, I would say.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, because when I met you, I feel like yeah, you were already deep into video.
I was deep into
Or
both.
or I think you were one of the people to tell me like, "Hey, man, you got to get into video."
Probably.
Yeah, and I
Probably
was
at
like,
the
"Ah,
time,
dude,
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm
Well,
I'm
you
s-
were rocking a Sony mirrorless camera, and I mean they are definitely multi-purpose cameras in the
yeah,
sense where they do crazy video and they
hmm
do crazy
yeah,
photo. So, to again, if you're trying to capitalize and get
hmm
that cash flow, you definitely have to take advantage of both.
yeah,
So that was good advice, past Steven.
yeah, yeah." Shout out past Steven for real. But yeah,
Oh, that's
I've
funny.
I've done. I almost do more video work now than photo. Yeah,
Is that on purpose?
no,
No.
I would love it to be the other way around.
You
It's
can
just
make that. You can control that.
that's very true. That's true. I just get hit up for more video jobs.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I had a photo shoot yesterday, but yeah, a lot more video because that's just like the world we live in now.
Right.
Everything is video, most of it. But
100%. I definitely this Green Bay specifically, there aren't too many people. I shouldn't say there aren't too many people, but there are definitely a lot less people looking for photography work,
hmm
especially like the portraits you do
yeah,
compared to video where it seems like everybody and their mother is trying to do a music video.
yeah, for real though, and like even because of like TikTok,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yep.
man, I like a photo sharing app, man. I
Right.
like posting photos, and that's
Were you a Visco kid?
actually no,
No, me
no,
neither.
no, I
Yeah.
wasn't.
I wasn't either.
No,
Yeah.
never.
I was a little late to the game on that. Even on Instagram, I was definitely later to the pack than everybody else.
Yeah, me too, kind of. Just because I wasn't, fully taking photos like that until Instagram kind of
Right.
started doing that. Because they be making some whack judgment calls.
Yeah, well, Facebook, shout out
Yeah.
Meta. I don't know what you guys are doing, but it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
I do social media marketing full time at Gather on Broadway, and the metrics and the analytics and just the general like tracking you can do for advertising. I got to dive really deep into that kind of
Okay.
stuff, and the ways you're able to track somebody from point A to point B when they're just scrolling their
Yeah.
feed on Instagram or Facebook, it's scary, man.
Yeah, that's odd.
It's very scary.
Like, they're always watching.
And TikTok's doing the same thing,
Oh,
because if I
absolutely.
pulled out my phone and showed you my For You page, it would be a million times different than your
Yeah.
For You page.
Yeah.
But the marketing behind that, and the way we're getting tracked off of our phones, it's crazy. I often wish there was a different photo sharing or video sharing
Yeah.
social media out there where people were like easily adoptable, and I don't know, just something different.
Yeah. Because, like, I mean, Instagram was like, it was perfect for that for a while.
Right. In the
And
early
then,
days.
yeah, like it was so smooth.
Right.
But
It was simple. It was a simple concept.
it was, and that's all it needs to be, though, too. Like,
Right.
once they changed it from like the chronological order thing, is when I think it fully just started going downhill.
Right.
Snowball effect from there.
Yeah, that's how they make their money, though. They can put
Yeah.
whatever they want you to see on their feed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is odd, even though I don't have like I don't get like that much fulfillment from like posting my photos and having people like, ooh, like, I don't care about that. I just want me to like it. Like,
Right.
if I like my work, cool.
It's good
then I'm
enough to
happy.
share.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find yourself, when you do post something and it doesn't get the feedback you're looking for, do you get down on yourself about it, or are you just like,
I said maybe I used to a lot more than I do now. I don't really give a shit now.
good?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
Love
like,
to hear it.
if I like it enough to post, I like it.
Right.
And that's really all that matters for any artist, whatever art you make.
These are words of wisdom that most people don't even acknowledge
Yeah.
until many years down the line. So yeah,
If you can
that's
get some sort
huge.
of, fulfillment just alone, you looking at your art, it's good enough.
What else do you need?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or most artists are their worst enemies at the end of the day.
Mm.
And I can vouch for that 100%. So if I can get past that to like put it out there, then it doesn't really matter what the response is.
Oh, I love that,
Yeah.
man. I love that. And you can definitely see it in your work too, because you're definitely not, I don't know, you're such a chill guy in real life, and you appear chill on social media too,
Mhm.
just in the way that you hold yourself, and it's hard to hate on somebody like that.
True. Thank
It's
you.
definitely hard to hate on somebody like that, because
Uh,
there is a level of confidence that comes with your work.
True. And it took a little bit to get there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because I'm like, I can at least confidently say I can do decent. I'm decent, and I'm better than I was yesterday, 2 years ago. Like, it's only gone up. But there was one thing you said in a podcast a few episodes ago. I don't know who said it. Maybe ASAP. That was like, what?
Yes,
Why is
yep.
it whack to try?
Right. Yes.
Like, I took that because I feel like I've seen that video before. But for real, like, how can you hate on someone for trying to do something? Like,
Right. I gotta find that video and just repost it on my Instagram or something, because yeah, so many people, I feel like, get caught up in what other people are thinking about their work that
mhm.
they don't even try.
Yeah,
And
100%.
and to get to a point where people are like making fun of other people for trying.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
No.
And to spread like such hate and negativity, it shows like people are obviously self-conscious about
Yes.
themselves, and they're
Mhm.
projecting and all this, but sometimes it still finds a way to tear me down.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's hard to ignore sometimes.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But yeah, man, screw 'em, man.
Screw it.
I'm me. You're not me. All right.
Yeah, move on.
Yeah.
See,
Cool.
I need some more of that mentality in my life. I'm trying.
This is a very new thing for me, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the past year, probably
really.
made a big change in my life.
You want to talk about it at all,
That
or
was just like a mental thing. Like,
Yeah.
kind of just like wanted to become a new person. Like,
So
of- of-
100% like mindset shift.
yeah, like I just wanted to really start becoming a much better me and
Interesting.
like being the me that I wanted to be.
Is that about when you start to bartend too?
No, before that.
Before that,
Yeah.
okay.
But then that kind of escalated the
Played into it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, but that just and then that makes you like your art more and like a much happier person now that since I've like, gotten past kind of being really self-conscious about myself and my art.
It'd be interesting to look back at like a year ago versus your work now. I'm sure the growth, if you compared it to the year prior, was
Mhm.
probably like exponentially more.
Probably. I'd say so. Or
Uh,
at least like my happiness with the results, like the
Yeah.
end product, has gotten closer to what I actually want it to be. It's still not there yet.
That's huge.
Not even close, but
No,
it's getting closer.
Just that mindset. I
Mhm.
mean, what was there any like factor in making you decide that, or any inspirations in your life that you were kind of trying to mimic, or was it just all inside? You were like, I need to do more.
Yeah, mostly that. But then I don't know, I started meeting more people like in the scene around here and I was, they were all like, "Oh, I really love your stuff. Like you do great work." So just hearing new faces that you respect them and their craft as well tell you that stuff. Like, okay. I
Give
can
you,
I can feel good about myself. Why not?
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Give you a little a confidence boost
Mhm.
hearing other people praise your work. I
Yep.
mean, yeah. I
And
mean,
like genuine people
yeah,
and
yeah.
genuine compliments. Not just like fire emojis on Instagram. Like real people in real life tell you, hey man, like I see the progress. Like you're doing much better than you were a long time ago. I was like, that's the stuff I appreciate. Mm, made a big difference.
Oh yeah. I mean, any like people don't praise each other. I mean, we get it all the time on social media, but it's definitely not the same in real life when you're talking face to face with somebody
Yeah.
and you're talking about something you're both passionate about,
Mm-hmm.
and you get to see their reactions in real time and see, where their head is at versus, when you're behind a screen. You
Yeah.
just
And I love people. I love giving people flowers, like in real life.
really
Like I will tell any artist if I really genuinely like their work, I'll be like you're fire. Like what you do is solid, and I genuinely enjoy your work.
yeah,
I
we
will
need more of that.
always tell someone that.
We need way more of
Yeah.
that.
I don't know. I don't know why people don't do that. Makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're definitely right in the fact that a lot of people definitely don't do that, but I'm not sure if I could pin down myself what that is.
I don't know either.
It's an artist thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's-
Yeah.
there's a lot of egos at
And
play.
like ego competition. I don't know
Yeah.
if people think that. Like,
No, there's definitely a lot of ego at play. Everybody's guilty of it to a
Mhm.
certain extent. Um, ego is definitely something you have to balance when you're an
Mhm.
artist, and not competing with other people in the city, but at the same time, competition is very, very good for you.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Like if I see something fire, I'm like, I gotta make something dope too.
yeah. I gotta.
But also, I feel like there's a lane for everyone too.
Mhm.
Like we're all different artists at the end of the day. We're not the same person, so the art will be completely different based on that.
Right.
Like
You can't always compare.
no, like you would see some completely different than the way I would see it, but I would never be like, oh, we're competing right now. No, we're just different people, different individuals, and that will always make different art. Nothing will be the same.
That's fair. When people view your work, what are you wanting them to see? Is it more like, because when you're doing portraitures, it's obviously you're trying to portray whoever you're taking the photograph in the best light.
Yeah.
And are you concerned about sort of their view on it, or are you trying to be like, no, let's make you look as good as possible, or are you like, no, I'm trying to in I'm trying to insert like my own sort of style into there.
Yeah, kind of that. Like I'll obviously if I'm taking portraits of someone, I want them to look the best they can, like through my eyes,
Mm.
or like whenever I take portraits of someone, that's how I see you, and I always want people to like look and feel their best. So when I take portraits, I'm like, this is your time to flex, or like, I want you to look as good as you can, be your confident self, and I can capture that very well.
He's definitely got an eye for it, man.
I try my
You
best.
definitely have an eye for it. Every single image. I mean, obviously you're not showing every single image, but the images that you end up with they're crispy, bro.
Thank you.
They're
Thank you.
crispy.
Thank you.
As far as like inspirations for your work, do you have any big ones that you look back to? Like I know we always had Cole Bennett in common
Yeah.
for
True.
video,
Yep. Oh, he's the goat, man.
but any photographers out there?
100%. A dude, Evan Ramf, from Atlanta, goes so crazy. I've been
I'm gonna have
following
to
him.
look up all these people.
Yeah,
after you're done.
I've been following him for years, and he's been a huge inspiration of mine. You could probably see some similarities in our work if you look it up. A dude, Vulandez.
Shout out,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
His
He's so
YouTube
dope, too.
channel's crazy.
Exactly. Been watching him for years, too.
Yeah.
So fire. A dude, Willem Verbeek.
Shout out, yes.
Yeah. All that. Joe Greer.
Yes.
Just-
all the film guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of film guys.
A lot of film
But
guys.
I just think, I just connect with their work. I love it.
Yeah.
So I will look at that stuff, watch their videos all day long.
Well, and the cool part about all of the people you just mentioned is they do show the process behind their photos.
Yep.
Like their YouTube channels are super in-depth looks at to how they create their work. And I mean, that's where I think YouTube is just unmatched when it comes to content creators, because it's such a huge platform for people to share that kind of thing.
YouTube University too, man.
Yeah.
That's where I learned like
Everything.
almost all of the stuff I do now. Like,
Everything.
just watching YouTube, watching those guys. Like
I could see you doing YouTube someday.
I don't know, bro.
You just got to get more comfortable in front of the
I can
camera.
barely do this right now.
Yeah, it's all growth though. It's all
I guess
growth.
so.
I could definitely see you doing that and getting a ton of attention from it, because again, if I could watch and observe the process from photo to final, I mean, I would watch that video all day long, man.
Yeah, that's the stuff I love to watch too. Like out of all the guys that I just listed, I've learned so much from those videos, and just like how to take what they do and put it into my own style. And yeah, pretty much that.
And I know for a fact there would be people sitting here watching this podcast or listening to this podcast that could learn so much from you, dude.
Maybe. I mean, I know more about this stuff than it shows, because it hasn't like fully clicked yet.
Right. Well, you're always, evolving. You're always creating different stuff. You're always editing yourself. But yeah, dude, if you ever decided to make a YouTube, it would blow up next day.
We'll see. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there.
As far as projects coming up or on the way, are you working towards anything specific? It's always a tough question.
Yeah. Not really. Not yet. I have plenty of projects right now in the works, but
mostly music videos or photos?
A few. Some photos.
Photos, a little bit of both.
But yeah, I mean, it's just projects that I've done like a few weeks ago, last week, this week.
Yeah, it seems like you're always week to week making something.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I will have people hit me up every week to do something.
Yeah, that's
It's never
insane.
like, oh, I want to do this like long project where it's gonna take like months to do. It's like, hey, when are you free this week? Let's do something.
And your schedule usually has enough flexibility that allows you to do that. I mean, that's huge in itself. Because I know a lot of artists out there that are choked out because they have, other commitments or,
100%.
or life gets a hold of them.
And I assume that'll be a problem eventually. But yeah, right now I'm free to do a lot, and I'm very glad for that.
You're taking advantage of
Oh
it
yeah,
too. It's good to see. It's definitely good to see. But I mean, outside of photo and video, because we've been talking about it
yeah, it's true.
for
Sorry to
quite
sorry
some
to bore
time.
everyone
No,
about this.
we're just nerding out. It's fine.
Hmm.
What are
We'll talk about this even not on a podcast.
no?
We'll sit there and
That's straight facts. We were
yeah,
probably talking about it before you even entered the door. You
yeah,
know, we could
yeah,
sit here and talk about photography and videography for another 3 hours,
yeah,
but we'd put everybody to sleep.
yeah.
Unless
Basically.
unless they appreciate the craft as
Hmm.
much as we do. But apart from photo and video, what are some other things that you're very passionate about? Because everybody's got something. Like, why do you had
Mm.
gardening? I had
Yeah,
no
dude, that was so
idea.
funny,
That
bro.
caught me off guard so hard. But at the same time, I'm like, it fits.
Yeah, true.
It fits.
I don't know, bro.
There's got to be
That
something.
there is, but that shit just consumes so much of my life. Um, I've always cut hair. I like cutting
Really?
hair. Yeah, I've probably cut hair since like junior year, of high school, sophomore year, maybe.
Damn, fun fact,
Um,
dude. Every time I see this man, his hair looks exactly the same. It doesn't move, dude. It's always like the cleanest fade and the same hair placement every single time. I think I've had like 25 different haircuts since I've known this man. He's had one, bro. One. It's crazy. I didn't know that actually. So
yeah,
haircuts.
that's hilarious, bro. The crazy thing is, I used to be rocking an ugly buzz cut for like most of my life,
No way.
like no guard, short as hell, and then I'm doing whatever this is.
So do you cut hair for other people or
Yeah, not too much anymore, but I used to a lot. Like in high school and in college, I was always cutting my roommates. I was cutting a bunch of random people at college, like for some beer, like some money.
damn?
That's fun. Just another creative outlet, kind of.
Sure,
Yeah, it's
sure.
still like artist style
Oh,
in the
for
same
sure.
sense.
I mean
Shout out all the barbers, man.
there
For real.
you know the good ones when you see them.
Absolutely.
I've had yeah, well, I shouldn't I've more than once walked into like great clips before expecting to get the cleanest cut ever and then walked out with like buzz.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
they'll
I don't know what I expected. I was kind of
yeah.
asking for it. But I mean, there's definitely an art to cutting hair
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, I've definitely had some bad haircuts.
Yep. I don't even so random. I just like started doing it one day. Cause I think cause I was getting buzz cuts all the time. And then my mom was
He
like,
was fed up.
yeah, I was like, yo, why do I pay to go get my hair buzzed? My mom was like, all right, let's just go get a clippers and I'll do it. I was like, all right. And then she started doing some of my homies back in the day, like buzzing their heads too. And then one day, one of my buddies was like, hey, bro, I need a haircut. I was like, oh, my mom's not here. I could do
I
it.
could try.
I could try. It's just a buzz cut. Like, how much can you mess up?
Hell yeah.
And then from there, my mom never cut anyone's hair again. I just kind of
It's
ran
just
with it.
you.
And then I just did more like intricate haircuts, kept going.
Hell yeah. Do you cut your own hair?
I have, like, over quarantine. Oh, yeah, I was doing that.
Was it good?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
It just takes me so long, and you need, like, 2 mirrors. Like, I have one behind me and, like, have my phone and, like, trying to cut it.
Oh
Like,
gosh.
it's just a process.
Everything's probably inverted too.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just takes so long. But if I could step out of my body for a second and, like, cut my own hair, I would.
100%. But you go
Yeah.
to somebody now.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I've been going to the same lady for, like, 5 years.
Do
at
you
this
go
point.
every day? I mean, how does that magic happen, man? I gotta know.
No, dude, I go maybe once a month.
No way.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
it.
I
I probably
listen.
could go, like, every 3 weeks, but no.
It's so clean, man. But
Thank you.
it's a cool side hobby. Do you think you'll ever like pick that up again, like seriously, or
I think it'll always be in the back pocket.
okay?
Like,
And
um,
the tricks up your
yeah,
sleeve.
yeah. Because I enjoy it, and I like the same thing with like taking photos and videos. I like making people look and feel good.
Oh, that's an interesting
Yeah,
correlation there.
yeah. So I like if I can give someone a good haircut, which I don't think I've given anyone a bad haircut, and they like look at it and they're like, "Yo, like this looks great. Like, thank you." I'm like, oh, "Sweet, I did my job." Because I can cut someone's hair, and I feel like I would know what they would want or like would look good on them. Kind of the same with like taking photos. Like,
Hell yeah.
I could take a photo of you and like I'd be like, I assume I know that he would know that he looks good in this and like he would like the way this turns out. Same with cutting hair.
That's that's a really interesting correlation
Hmm.
between, you know, cutting hair and photo and video. There's always in the back of your mind, hey, I want to do this for this person so that they feel good about
Yep.
themselves. That's so cool.
Thank you.
I mean, that's a genuine, like, that's really
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah, like I said, I like makes me feel good, making other people feel good.
Yeah.
Like that's brings me a lot of happiness.
Wow.
But other than cutting hair, I love clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've always had that in common
yeah.
too.
I just don't have the bread for it yet.
No, I'm the same way,
Um,
man. It's bad. Well, at the same time, I'll drop like $200 on something Kanye made because it's
That's
Kanye,
fair.
and
That's
then
fair.
people judge me, which I don't blame them.
That's fine.
But
If you like it, sweet.
right. But yeah, fashion has
Mhm.
always been
Yep.
big for me and you.
Mhm. Yeah, I've always loved that shit. I would like to make clothes eventually. I don't know what I want to do or any of that yet.
You
but
definitely have a look. Like again, with it kind of crosses over everything from your photo to your video to the way you cut your hair to the way you
Okay.
dress. It's all like a very cohesive. I could pick you out in a crowd and say that's Zach. Yeah.
that and the glasses.
yeah.
Um,
So what kind of got you into clothes?
I don't know. Even like way back in the day, I just liked clothes. Maybe my mom because she loves clothes and like she's got a cool style too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just always drawn to it. That like clothes, art, and music were always like the things I would enjoy the most.
Definitely a visual guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Visuals. Yeah. I'm the same way where it's like even my setup here, like you walked
Hmm.
in and you're like, oh, this is
Yeah,
100%
dude.
you.
Yeah, this is so you.
Yeah.
I love it though.
Thank you. I see the same thing with your work. Like this is Zach. Like this
Yep.
is, and in that way, I see so much similarities between us. Where it's like we're always going for that next. What's the next big visual? Like
Mhm.
what's the next big look? What's the next big like for me? Like it's starting to become furniture, which is
Okay.
really weird.
Yeah, like how you told that story about that chair,
right,
which is so
exactly.
fire though.
Right, but it's a thing like that where it's hair cutting for you, but
Mm.
it's furniture for me,
Yep.
but it's all visual.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's all the same game,
Yep.
and you can apply what you've learned doing photo work and video work
Mhm.
to other things that you wouldn't really think you could normally align.
But then it somehow like stems from the same vein.
right,
Like, yeah, 100%.
and it's all just that artistry and
Mhm.
wanting to make something.
And I never
visually
understood
cool.
that or like never realized that I was just like seeing things from a photographer mindset like my whole life. And I never like really put that together because I was always growing up. I was like looking at stuff and I'm like, why aren't people thinking like that looks cool or like this scene is cool? But I always thought like stuff like that in my head. And then
The teacher came around.
the teacher came around. Come to find out, I was like, oh, I was looking at stuff like how I am now. I just
Interesting.
didn't.
So you always had it. You always looked at it in that way, but you never, hindsight 2020. You never put 2 to 2 together.
No, never.
Interesting. Yeah, I love getting to hear that side of things because everybody has such a different story when it
Mhm.
comes to why they create and how they create. And again, it's not always. There are so many people in your life that kind of influence you, but there are always the few that stand out that make those big changes in your life
Yep.
and point out something seemingly obvious to them but not obvious to you.
Mhm.
And I always think like That's why I love the podcast stuff, because you get to see or hear that side of artistry where it's like, okay, why do they think that way?
Yeah, right.
Why do they do what they do? And man, you're no exception, because everything I'm hearing, and it all makes sense.
Fair.
It all makes
And
sense.
like we said earlier, I'm not the loudest guy in the room, So
Right.
like,
Right.
I'm not just gonna sit here and spit this stuff out in like a busy crowd or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll say it on here. So
Exactly. We
Yeah.
got Zach talking for almost an hour,
for
man.
real, it's crazy.
Who else could do that?
Right.
No, it's cool to see. I definitely want to see you get in front of the camera more. Especially,
I want to as well.
Yeah, I
I
can
do.
tell. I can tell.
I do. I don't know, man.
I can
I
tell.
like being behind the camera.
What's it gonna take? What's it gonna take, man?
I don't know. Little things like this.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's step one.
Okay. All right.
We'll
Step
Try
one.
something else. Dude, I don't think I've got my photo taken in like 2 years.
I'm the same way, except I typically only allow myself to take photos of me.
I haven't even done that either.
That's scary. You should try that once. I'm so self-conscious that I only allow myself to take photos of me,
That's fair.
but I'm like my biggest judgment.
Oh yeah,
So,
me too.
so it's like
I feel like that'd be a quick and done photo shoot. I'd be
Yeah.
like, oh no, this is whack. All right,
Yeah.
never mind.
we should trade. We should go photo to photo, because I'll snap some of you, you'll snap some of
Mhm.
me, and we'll both be self-conscious together, man.
Perfect. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, I've never had like another photographer. Like I've never had a photo shoot for me.
Right.
Like I've never done that. That seems weird to me because I'm like, well, I'm the one
There's definitely
taking the photos.
There's definitely
but-
a part of you that's curious, though.
I am.
Yeah, I can tell.
Just 'cause I need a new profile picture.
I need that new Tinder photo, man.
Oh, 100%. But I haven't, had a photo taken of me that I've like enjoyed in so long.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to make that happen.
Like, look at my Instagram. There's maybe like 2 photos of me on there.
Oh, really? I should look back.
Yeah,
That's fun.
maybe 2.
Yeah, I feel that. I definitely.
Like,
It's-
where I've had people like, "Oh, you're ZL."
yeah, they
I've
don't
never
even
seen
recognize
you,
you.
yeah.
That's the biggest problem I had starting out was I never advertised myself.
Oh, fair.
And not even advertised or claimed my work. Like I'd put stuff
Okay.
out there on other people's pages, and I'd be like, "Yeah, don't even tag me.
Oh
Like,
wow.
I don't care what happens to it. I mean, like I care.
Yeah.
I want to see it do well, but starting out, I never attached my name to anything, hardly
Oh, wow.
ever.
That's kind of crazy.
But looking back, I was like, damn, I really should have, because I would have been so much further ahead. But
Hmm.
it was again, it was probably like an insecurity or
That's fair.
self-conscious or whatever it was. But I feel like a lot of visual artists or photographers or videographers are probably in the same boat.
Oh, 100%.
Like you never see
Yeah.
the greatest photographers posting pictures of themselves.
No.
Or if you do, they're very rare. Or it's by another photographer.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm like, I want to post what I see.
Right.
Like-
Yes.
I don't need to post me. Like,
Yep.
If you know me in real life, you know what I look like.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
It's
it.
fine.
But there
Or
is
Snapchat me. How about that?
there is something that comes with putting yourself out there, though, and being a little
Yeah.
more vulnerable than what you normally are.
100%. That's growth.
That's growth.
Yeah. And
Video.
I'm trying to do a lot more of that.
We will hopefully see 10 times more of Zach this year.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. I'll try to get in the
No, we
camera some
will.
more.
We will.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it just doesn't feel as comfortable as behind the camera.
No,
Yeah.
but in a year from now, you'll look back on this podcast and you'll be like, "Oh man, I was too hard on myself. I should have just, I should have just jumped, man."
Hmm. I realized that a while ago too.
Yeah,
It's like, man, I've been way too hard on myself. Like, you're not gonna make any progress, not get anywhere
definitely
if you
not.
shitting on yourself.
Right?
Because that was like a big struggle for me. Just like the whole worst enemy thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that is me.
Self-critique.
Yeah.
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 Hard.
Just it way too deep in your own head.
Mm.
Where I'm like, this isn't getting you anywhere. Get out of there. Get it out of your own head.
And here you are doing exactly that, which takes
Yeah,
a
right.
ton of confidence, man. A ton of confidence. So I give you props as
Like,
a.
I give you props for even doing this too, because I know that this wasn't always your forte either.
Oh, it's still not.
So
It's still not.
for you to be the host of a podcast, not for, I'm just hopping on here once.
Yeah,
And-
well, we'll get you back up.
Yeah, hopefully. But you're on here every time, so
We both did a shot before this.
we did.
Keyword, we both.
Shout out Hennessy.
Shout out Hennessy. Yeah. No, I am still as nervous as ever hopping in front of these cameras, man. It's still.
You do well though.
I play it off. Inside, I'm like freaking the fuck out, but like in person, I get laid back, called laid back all the time. But
Me too.
inside, I'm just like,
Yeah, I feel that 100%.
yeah.
But even in a few months, you'll look back at these two
Oh, probably.
and be like, "Wow, I'm 100% different."
Yeah, even looking
Yeah.
back on my first episode, I'm like, oh, come on, man. Like, did you really say that? Like, come on. But even now, it's a learning process.
It's different when you can like film something and like cut it out, or
Yeah,
like
this
have,
is just
or like
raw.
have takes. Yeah, just off the cuff doing this. So that's
Yeah.
way different.
Well, and that's another thing I like. A lot of podcasters, well, I mean, it's all personal preference, but a lot of podcasters will have like certain topics they lay out that they want to hit.
I was wondering that for you.
Yeah,
Like,
for
do
me,
you like think about questions or like avenues, routes you want to take this?
no, when I came up with the concept, I'm like, it has to be as natural and as human as
Okay.
possible because I
Okay.
didn't want to come in here with 10 different questions and
Yeah.
I just linearly ask them and
Okay.
not let the conversation flow. I think there's so much to be said about just having a natural conversation where
Mhm.
you know you might talk about some things that you had no idea you were going to talk about, but they
True.
were really cool to listen to.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I love that then.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. That's way more genuine.
it is.
Oh, yeah.
It is. But at the same time, like if you're doing a more interview-esque, you know, like for Monte, I had never met Monte before the podcast. So that
okay.
one, I was, you know, a little more interview-esque where
Okay.
I had some definite questions that I wanted to ask him just because I didn't know him personally.
Okay.
But, you know, when I'm talking to you or Charlie or YD or people I know,
Yep.
it's definitely like I want to loosen up a bit and figure out some different things that most people wouldn't normally talk about.
Okay.
But I
Very
want
cool.
to continue that with, you know, people I don't know too.
Yeah.
That's the end goal.
Okay. Dope. Love that.
Thank
I
you.
love that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because I was wondering, I was like, does he like, you know, think beforehand, like not questions, but like
General concept.
yeah,
Yeah.
fair. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If I were to just go in with nothing, I mean, I spend a lot of time thinking
Okay.
about like, you know, like before you show up, I'm in my head going through like all of Zach's previous work and like all of the shit I think's cool and all of the stuff that I don't know about you that I want to know about you.
Okay.
And I'm not necessarily like writing it down, but I definitely
got
put
it.
like thought
Yeah,
behind
okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. But it's all about that casual, relaxed vibe. Because at the end of the day, I want people to feel comfortable enough to share things that
Yep.
maybe they don't normally share, like the haircuts
Yeah.
or
The people that know that I cut hair know that I cut hair though.
yeah.
Yeah, I've given some fire haircuts back in the day. I'll just say it right now.
Do you have pictures from back in the day?
No, probably
Oh,
not. But
damn.
one of my best friends, Tanner, he will like grow his hair out like you, and like a few times it'll be longer than what you have now,
Damn.
and I'll take it down to like what I have.
Damn. Yeah.
Multiple times I've done that.
Yeah, that's scary. This is the longest my hair has ever been.
Really?
Ever. Yeah.
Are you just letting it rock?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
See what happens.
It would take me like 3 years to get to that.
Yeah, this is a good year at least.
Okay. I'd be wearing a lot of hats.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The
I
awkward
would.
stage. Oof.
It's always the awkward stage. Even now, I feel like. But
It fits you so well though. That hair.
it does.
And the mustache.
The mustache.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
It's a look.
Yeah.
But I definitely get like some weird stares every now and again. Like I was at a bar this last Friday in Appleton. And whenever you're out somewhere new that you don't normally go to, you're always like, looking around, seeing what other people are up to. And I definitely get more than a few strange looks because of the mustache and the long hair, and I'm tall and skinny as fuck.
Fair.
Like, you definitely get
That's
some
fair.
looks.
It's surprising you're even out here like that.
What
This
do you
man
mean?
Steven has like I've never seen him out up until a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it was fun though.
It was.
And the crew that we had, me, you, Charlie, and YD.
Mitch.
And Mitch too.
Mitch.
And Mitch don't even go out either.
Yeah, none.
Shout out Mitch, man.
A lot of those guys don't normally go
No.
out, I don't think. So it was kind of like everybody was at the right place at the right
Yep.
time. It was a funny vibe. We were driving all over the place. Well, not driving.
Yeah,
We drove over the river and then we drove back right away
Yeah.
because the vibes
It
were
was
off.
whack. Yeah. Was not it. But
yeah, I definitely don't go out very much.
that's fair.
Although I do now. It's kind of
Good.
weird. I'm trying.
That might help the comfort zone too.
Yeah, it's like
Get out here a little bit more.
you bartending
Yep.
pushes your
Which I'm still not
introvertedness.
the most social bartender. I can make some drinks though. But
That's all
like,
you need. You just need to
yeah.
impress with the drinks, and then
yeah.
you'll be the silent but deadly bartender.
And I may or not be drinking as well behind the bar.
Loosen you up.
Yeah,
even more.
100%.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
it's kind of fun though too.
Oh, I'm sure.
That is also another art form too. Like Lang, my other
Dude,
bartender.
I met Lang for
Oh.
the first time, however many weeks ago that was.
Yeah, Charlie show.
2-3 weekends ago, and he is crazy.
An absolute artist with the cocktails.
Yeah.
It's so impressive.
Watching him for the few hours I was there, I was impressed. Man.
Oh yeah, I never ever like thought about that there was like an artistry to like making cocktails until I met him, and he's like got everything down to a science and like knows all the science behind making drinks and like why certain things mix well and like
Yeah,
where all this alcohol is from, like what's in it, taste profiles, like he can make a drink up like just off the rip and it's amazing.
that's a huge rabbit hole in itself.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
a mixologist to a T.
crazy,
100%.
crazy.
Best bartender in the Midwest.
Oh,
I guarantee it.
Yeah, I believe it because he was doing some magic.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I'm glad this was my first time bartending.
Oh, and to have him as like
Yeah,
a mentor,
yeah.
like
Not some just like average Joe that's just there.
right.
Like, yeah, he's the man.
So how close are you to beating your master?
Oh, he's got 12 years on me, bro. I don't know if I can get there. Because there's a lot like, I didn't know that the alcohol bar industry was as deep as it is either. Like, these people know their alcohol, like alcohol, like liquor and then like wine.
Mm-hmm.
People know so much about wine, bro.
What are
It's insane.
the sommeliers, like the people who really know wine?
Oh yeah.
I don't know what they're called. Somebody will be in the comments telling me
Yeah.
it's pronounced this way, dumbass.
Yeah, Lang would be upset that I don't know his name. But we talked about it. Those people, yeah.
Who can tell like where it was made and
Yeah,
what time of
the soil?
yeah, what time of year?
If it was a really rainy season for like
Right.
that wine, I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, respect though. If you can, I love any like master of a craft,
yeah,
whatever avenue, whatever lane you're in.
the gurus.
Like if you can be a master of that craft, all my respect.
Yeah,
Because you put some hours into that then.
that's why I love Rick Rubin so much.
Okay.
That's why I love even
Mhm.
Kanye so much.
Yeah.
But anybody who spends, it's like the 10,000 hour thing.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Where if you spend 10,000 hours, you're a master at what
Yeah.
you do. Like anybody who reaches that level and you can tell and there's passion behind it. Like I hope to someday get to 10,000 hours
Yep.
of something. I don't even care what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't think I have anything in mind that I want to be a definite master at. But at some point in my life, like, I hope it's something.
Yeah, because that's just, then you've committed to that, and like you've put your all and so much time into it.
Right.
Where if whatever you do and you for that, it'll pay off somehow.
And as an artist, I think that's kind of, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think that's the goal for most people is to become a master at something.
Yeah.
Like I feel like in my 4 years of freelancing, I've picked up a lot, but I'm not necessarily a master at anything yet.
You're fire though.
I'm good at a lot of stuff.
But you also love to learn and like keep growing at it.
Right, which is exactly where you're at too.
Because that you never have that stop. Like once you stop wanting to learn about something, then you won't really progress at it anymore.
Yeah,
like you'll be.
But I still want to reach that mastery.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Something. I don't care.
Even if you want to reupholster chairs and get real fire at that.
Yeah. Whatever it is, man.
What even is the first step of doing that?
Oh God. So I bought this chair on Marketplace. It was a yellow leather chair. I have pictures of it on my phone.
Oh wow.
But I loved the shape of the chair. It's a cool chair.
It is. It's a very cool chair.
But the color and it being leather, I was like, I can't do it. So before I even like knew what I wanted to do, I started ripping it apart.
Okay.
And I was like, I'll make it work somehow, not knowing the project I just created for myself. But I mean, again, YouTube was a huge thing.
YouTube University, man. It's a real thing.
Yep. I spent, a few hours watching videos, and I didn't have a sewing machine, and I had a needle and I had thread, and I had enough money to go over to Joann's and buy fabric.
Okay.
And then I just started piecing it together.
Wow.
It's just a big puzzle piece, really. I mean, it's like if you're making a shirt, you have a pattern, and you put it together like a puzzle.
Okay.
But I mean, it's kind of the same thing where you were like, why am I spending this money getting a haircut when I could be cutting the hair myself? It's along those lines where it's like, I got this priced out to be upholstered, and it was going to be like $500-$600, and I'm like,
hell no.
I love this chair, but I don't love this chair that much. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll give it a shot, and it turned out well.
Oh yeah,
turned out well. Well, Zach,
I got a pee so bad too.
Yeah, you're good. Well, we'll get you out of here right now. My guy has got to use the restroom. It's been an hour.
Yeah, and
we've been drinking a little bit. Zach, I appreciate you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate this.
Here.
Yeah, this was dope.
And we will definitely be seeing a ton more Zach in front of the camera.
Yeah, I'm not done yet.
ZL98 on Instagram. Go check his shit out now.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming on, Zach.
I appreciate it, man.
All right, go pee.
Oh, man, I got to pee so bad.